Notifications on, Ricky, because I'm live.
Are
And
you?
you didn't get an alert, and that
I
makes
didn't
me
get.
very
I didn't.
unhappy because I got a little noise when you went live.
I just went live right now before you said anything.
I still got one. I got 10 people watching me. Who you got? We're supposed to fight.
Hell yeah, we're about to fight over this
fighting.
audition.
This audition. Who can say "fuck the police" louder? Just because you have a bullhorn.
Me.
Do it.
Me.
Wait. Before you do that,
I'm trying
on?
to
Look. Is that on?
I'm trying to wait on.
You see
I'm
this
trying to
in
wait
front
on.
of us?
Huh?
With no cameraman?
I guess not.
You see that right in front of us?
I don't know if it's on though.
Where's the cameraman? No,
should-
it's on. See, it's on. It's
Hell
just
yeah.
doing like a constant feed.
Here's a little lying detective out here.
We like to be mainstream if we can.
I see you running away from the scenes, trying to cover up from your friends.
Oh, no. The undercover says no, brother.
You out here covering up your crimes. Crime scene's a block away. Actually, 3 blocks away. 3 blocks away is the crime scenes. Why do you got the crime scenes blocked off for a quarter of a mile? Multiple agencies out here investigating their own wrongdoing just to find out that they've only done no wrong.
They tried to act like they shot a deputy down.
You know what? We've been re-examining this investigation and listening to the radio calls that's going on over the scenes. And I'm just curious if you have the gallbladder to tell the truth to the rest of the world how you murdered this guy down here.
You should tell the people. They already know. They already know they murdered someone. You should tell them. They already know they kill people here. I'll do it.
It's real funny that it's only 4 people watching. So we're out here live
19.
with the bullhorn.
What do you want me to say?
Inconsistent. It's on. Talk in it.
Hello. Okay. I don't know.
She don't know how to publicly speak, but you know what? I have plenty of words for Los Angeles Police Department.
They already know they killed somebody. They shot somebody. Tell the people.
They shot somebody. How about that? Did y'all know that? They murdered a guy 4 blocks from here. I got the cops, the shooters on video. How they murdered this person right here. I have it. I have the shooters leaving away in the car, limping like he was hurt after he ran over the curb and shot the guy.
Hey, that was my brother, man.
That was your brother?
They tried to act like they shot a deputy.
We would love.
Were like, well, who got shot? And he's like, I don't know.
They said that he shot somebody.
Yeah, that's what they said over the radio.
One of their own was shot.
Over the radio transmission. Yes, they did broadcast that somebody was shot.
A deputy.
A deputy before anybody else was shot.
And you're telling me your brother was shot?
That's my brother, man.
Last night? Or this night? A couple hours ago? Or is that the one when they shot somebody on Figueroa?
Right here.
Here.
What happened?
So your brother wasn't armed?
No, he wasn't armed.
Why did they shoot him?
They shot him. They shot him in front of his own house right down there, right?
No, was it like off of Yukon or something?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he ran.
Oh, because they were in fear for their safety, right?
Yeah, I
they
guess.
So this was your relative?
This is my real life relative.
What is your name, man?
Edward Mosby.
Can you identify the victim?
Name?
Yes, his name is Antoine Stamps.
And he's alive still?
No, he's not alive. He's dead.
They killed him?
Yes, at Harvard UCLA. Right.
Do you have any words you want to tell these people on the bullhorn?
Oh my God, are you serious?
No, this the car you were in?
You guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
You killed
This
somebody.
is irresponsibility of your deputies'
Hey.
actions. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. This is shocking news right here, brought to you live by some local little nobody with a YouTube channel. And the relative named his relative and who he was and what had happened. And what do you know? You're gonna lie. You're gonna sit up there and lie and say that this guy was armed when you know goddamn well he wasn't armed, because you people always take the time to cover up after your actions. Talk to all your little friends, talk to all your little associates and your deputies, and get your story straight before you tell the truth to the media. Just like you just shut this private business down where they cannot no longer conduct business because you claim this is a crime scene when the crime scenes happen a quarter mile away. Do you not like my voice, detective? Is that why you're recording me? You should be ashamed of yourselves. You and your colleagues, you do this stuff and get away with it. And then you perpetrate like you're the hero, like you actually protected the community when all you did was murder the people of the community. The people in the community are sick and tired of this corrupt behavior and the cover-ups in the operation of the Los Angeles Police Department, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, and the surrounding communities. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves and your actions. You guys are little scary cats out here walking around just as jumpy as a little bum. You shouldn't even have a firearm because you're not qualified to fucking use it.
They got donuts while someone was dying in the street.
Yeah, he died in the street after being shot in your fake ass officer limping.
You got fucking donuts when they were dying in the street. On the other side of the car, holding
yeah,
a donut.
And you guys are all laughing and getting your story straight and don't want to tell the truth. So after re-examining radio transmissions, detective, you can't hide them because they're recorded. So yeah, go ahead and switch over to your encrypted radio so we can no longer hear your crimes and corruptions among the community. Wasting millions and millions of taxpayer dollars. Hey, you know what, driver? I hold a CDL. I have a CDL. And I'm out here speaking up against this bullshit. Fuck a CDL. CDL ain't worth my fucking... I'm tired of this fucking corruption from you fucking scumbags. You guys are irresponsible. Irresponsible. Look how you shut down this private business. Look at this private business. This mobile gas station can't get customers right now because it's a so-called crime scene. When the crime scene happened, a quarter of a mile down the street. You guys saw it live on my live stream. Irresponsible human beings. You should be ashamed of yourself. Call yourself protecting in the community. Protecting and serving the community proudly. I don't think the community appreciates this kind of protection and serving. I don't think it's, this is my opinion, but I'm pretty sure that there's hundreds of thousands of people out here across the United States that would agree with this simple. Yeah, you want to come over here and get me because you don't like my bullhorn? You don't like the First Amendment? You don't like the First Amendment? You got a problem with the First Amendment? You got somebody speaking up with a loud voice? You got a problem with somebody yelling about your fucking corruption in your face? Huh? Yeah, get in your car. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Wait, Rodney, who's your media?
Your shit brown shirt.
Hey, deputy.
So, for those of you that are watching on this live YouTube stream, the relative pulled up and identified himself and the victim, and reinforced and reassured that this guy that was murdered was not armed whatsoever.
Rick, I got a question for you.
Hey, you! Come back here, identify yourself. Good public relations, right?
Rick,
I hear you, man.
I have a question. I have a question. For you, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How is it that we knew? How do we know that the guy was unarmed? How do we know that the officer lied about Officer Down? How do we know that every fucking detail in their whole story was lies before we actually found out anything? And now that we've confirmed...
Because they have a bad habit of fucking doing the same shit over and over. It's a repetition behavior. When they commit a murder, they go out of their way to prevent the public from observing the scenes. But when they've actually acted in a lawful manner, they have no problem with photographers. Absolute no problem with photographers. That's why your officer in really dark charcoal skin by means no necessary racist comment. I'm just identifying him for public. But by the way, he pushed me into the fucking street and almost got me ran over by a speeding fucking police car with no headlights on. You call that professionalism? All to protect the identity of a fucking murderer?
Yeah. We got you the good audio.
We're hooking you up with the sound bites.
You can't see it, but you can hear it all.
I'm hearing you.
No, your is it on?
This is a closed-off crime scene where they murdered somebody 3 blocks down the road. They're trying to get their story straight before they tell it to the media. Because they only like to tell you what they want to tell you. They don't disclose the truth. They always like to hide behind their badge and their false assumption that some officer was out here acting as a hero, when in fact he was killing some unarmed innocent man. We all want to believe that the police are on our side and they are good for us. But they've showed us time and again that they are only murderers.
I think I probably assumed.
The officer down when you were saying was the officer who shot you.
Not necessarily. I think he pretended to trip.
That's all I have, whatever the case said.
You just, what did you hear then over this matter?
That a weapon was recovered and a suspect was shot.
That's the only thing that gets you out here is a weapon recovered?
The only thing that gets me out here is this food on the
Exactly.
table.
Oh, I thought, aren't you
Is what?
He was getting food on the table.
Have you gotten any comments at all or anything?
Yeah, they basically said
Getting
that
carried
an
with what? He was
investigation
just
for a officer involved shooting, a weapon was recovered, and further investigation.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay. So we heard a little earlier than that it was they actually claimed that an officer was shot.
Anything other than
And that's fine. I mean, that's fine. You didn't hear it. I'm saying we heard that, and then we got over here.
I think we're saying what we heard over the radio.
Did you see the car that pulled up right here? That was his brother, the one that they shot. That was you already shot too.
Oh my God, they hate it when the people have a really loud voice. A really loud voice disturbs their obedient concentration. They don't like cops that have the capacity to be able to think for themselves. They like cops that have the capacity to do as they're told and follow all orders without question. Follow all orders without question. There ain't nothing you can do about it. You have to follow your superior order. Even if your top commander is a scumbag, you don't have the authority or substantial code of ethics to be able to disobey an unlawful order. You rather disobey, you rather follow an unconstitutional order than act like you fucking really are serving the public. You're a traitor to your community. The community no longer trusts you. Only the blind, stupid people trust you. You want facts? The individual's brother arrived and said and identified the deceased victim by his name. And it is true that the deceased victim was an unarmed man that was shot by the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department 3 blocks away from our local police department.
Oh,
they hate me right now.
And then 6 months later, the guy, the security guard,
The one that talked to you about.
You follow it up.
Yeah. No. They're like, we already know. We don't need to know more. No.
I think that's interesting.
So do you work there for them directly, or are you like allowed? Oh, you work for them directly. Okay, so they send you. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know like there's other stringers will send them stuff randomly when they get video of it, right?
Sure.
Some loud mouth
What's his
with a
name again,
speaker.
Daniel? Not Barra, but
Dude, I
Ibarra,
was here
but what's the other
earlier.
one?
I don't,
It starts with a C.
I don't actually know it. I forget what his name is. I don't know it.
It's Ibarra and...
Before you show up making some bullshit assumptions,
Probably pull up one of, your
you need to go
business.
fucking
you
discover
asked them,
some
remember, when
facts.
They're like, hey, help us out. When you can help us out, we'll help you out. Remember?
I
That
did-
bullshit?
yeah, I just don't remember what it was though.
But he did tell you, so I'm
Yeah, we have it. I think we have it.
iPhone's not the problem.
I'm sure we have it on the videos.
Let's go up and out.
I'm sure you can have it.
Detectives leaving. Why they got so many detectives leaving, huh?
About how long?
I'm not really sure.
You need to from my camera. I don't want.
Yeah,
Thanks.
So I don't think the news guy likes where his thing is, so he asked the cop permission to move his camera in past the yellow line. So he's gonna move his camera in past the yellow line.
Are we all going right? We're all going right. The field trip.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Hold off on the PA thing for a minute. Hold off on that for a minute. Just for a minute.
We're gonna rag this.
So hold on, let's move back. He left his camera here. So let's move back. Come on.
No.
You guys gotta get behind the tape.
You guys are...
All of us, or just
Can I leave my camera here like he did?
I think he just got permission from that guy.
Is it just because he's Channel 5?
For...
What he just asked for the camera, but you just have to stay like behind the.
Can we
Okay,
set
so I
our
move my camera?
cameras, but we have to go back?
That's fine. I guess he wanted to move from the sidewalk.
I guess we all have to
Probably
go
because
back.
of our voices and stuff. Or
Really sure.
yeah.
Yeah, just stay behind the yellow.
Dude, what's the camera right there? The closest to me? That's the C, right?
Just the you're gonna move just the camera, right?
Oh, you
So I mean, we can all go to the location, right? Are we gonna like go on a field trip together?
We're not with him.
But we're planning on.
We're just riding this hotel.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
I'm just putting a new battery on.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Maybe just gonna move the camera, that way you can stay safe.
We're not with him. So we don't get whatever he gets.
All right, thank you much.
So because
Hi. Hey, what's the deputy's name right there on the left?
So, my name's Deputy Ben. Who's the crime? You guys step back around and take this.
Your what? Okay, the one on the right.
if Channel 5 can come over here, we should be allowed to set our cameras over here too, right?
Step on. Thanks, guys. Go ahead, step on.
Hey, like,
I'm just
you know the name of that Oriental cop that killed the innocent guy last night? By chance?
Oh, my bad. I saw this tape and I was...
No, I know. It's confusing to me too. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate
You
the
hear what he said
cooperation.
though?
I'm sure you do appreciate it. I don't appreciate you though.
We didn't do
With
anything.
your biased opportunity fully displaying. I know, right?
What did he say? He said he has
Channel
a little...
5
He
can
said
get
he
in
has a
there.
little dick problem. He doesn't want to hear you. He said, I have a little dick. I have a problem. That's what he said. I heard him.
You bald-headed bastard. You look like a gang member
No, white pride.
with no
A little
tattoo.
white pride action. A little American History X going on.
Little American History X undercover cop acting. He knows he's from the gangsters. He's operating for Aryan Brotherhood. You know he's operating under the Aryan Brotherhood, disguised as a police officer, infiltrating infiltrating the Los Angeles Police Department to act as a Aryan Brotherhood and relay information to the California penal system. With that bullshit. Channel 5 can do it, but you little bastards can't.
What's your name? Ricky Monday.
Oh my fucking goodness. Ricky Monday has a really loud voice tonight. And he is here to just fucking speak his mind and tell the truth. The truth they don't want nobody to hear. They want a calm, obedient public that don't question none of their actions, none of their killings, that just takes the local news media story and tell them what they want you to believe. And we all just pass it on and say, oh, this is some violent guy that was just out here acting crazy in the streets of Los Angeles. And our deputies acted in every responsible way in opening fire on this unarmed guy because we don't know how he might respond. We don't know if he might know jujitsu. We might not know if he knows how to take our weapon out of our retention holsters. He's got some kind of special magic. He knows how to take a firearm out of a retention holster. Or he might know Taekwondo and he might kick my ass, so I fear for my life. I can't take an ass whooping. I can't accept an ass whooping from the public. So I just shot the guy. Fuck him. I shot him a couple times. Couple? How many is a couple? Oh, I don't know, like 35. They really don't like my really loud voice. I don't think my friends like my really loud voice either. But you know what? I don't care because I always speak my voice. I'm not ashamed to say the things that I've done wrong. I'm not ashamed to admit when I fuck up and do something terrible. I would, however, be ashamed to lie to the rest of the public community about some murderous actions that took place. You guys are nothing but the pinky on the hand of the arm that feeds this tyrannical, corrupt system that's providing inmate after inmate after inmate to private institutions for money-making purposes only. You see the people of the streets as a little dollar sign. You see the little people on the streets as a little target practice object that you can easily unload your firearm into and will not be questioned because of your status as an officer. Everybody in the community always believes the officers. The officers could never do no wrong or tell no lie or do nothing bad. The police would never do nothing like that. The United States government would no longer kill their own innocent people. You really believe that story? Because I don't. I don't believe that story. These people don't have the capacity to tell the truth to the community. Instead, they lie to your faces and they only tell you what they want you to believe. That's all they tell you. That's all they know how to tell you. It's some fallacy story, make-believe, criminal, and a hero deputy that saved the day from a bad guy. Guess what, bitches? You are the bad guy. You wonder why the people in the community don't talk to you? Because they don't trust you. Just like you don't trust one another. That's why you keep locks on your lockers in the locker room. Did you hear me, you bald-headed tyrant? Somebody's always watching you bitches. And it's just amazing when you want to hide the truth from the community and only tell the story of the objective that you want to tell to the community. Not the truth! Oh, you little bastard! Go home and think about that and tell that fucking story to your family. Because I make sure I fucking get your mom and your dad and your wife and your children to watch this video someday on YouTube to see what you really do as a police officer. Isn't it shameful and disgusting? Isn't it tyrannical, all these wasted resources? All these resources and hundreds of thousands of dollars spent. Police cars just sitting there idling, wasting fuel. And they stand around and laugh and they talk and they talk about it and they look at the photographer and they worry about what the photographer's saying. Oh yeah, the photographer always likes to edit the videos and make us look like the bad guys. Well, guess what, people? You make yourself look like the bad guy. We don't have to edit nothing. The world sees exactly what is happening here. The world sees the continuous murder rate of the citizens of the United States of all color, black, white, brown, Mexican, Asian, fucking Native Americans. The whole world sees it. The whole world knows the truth. And the truth is disgusting. And it's advertised all over YouTube all day long. Officer after officer after officer of misconduct. Raping little girls, raping prostitutes, taking money from prostitutes, taking people out of the streets, arresting them with no probable cause. Look at that gangbang mustache on that sheriff. Look at that gangbang mustache on that sheriff. He can't do nothing. Look at that fucking mustache. That's just a typical Los Angeles police officer right there. Typical. Gangster ass, Fu Manchu, like he's just the shit. You ain't nothing but a little tyrant and a little servant, a little pinky on the hand of the arm that feeds the system. Let's go, bitches. Pack up that shit and get the fuck out of here. You're investigating a fucking murder scenes from 3 blocks away. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Tell that lie to somebody else. I know you only confiscated 6 ounces of heroin and only turned in 4, distributed the other 2 to the street and made a profit. They hate it when a man in the community has a really loud voice. They gotta pack up their fucking cars and get the fuck out because they can't stand this guy's mouth. So yeah, that is the victim car. Douchebag after douchebag after douchebag, standing around doing nothing. Nothing. Wasting resources that could have went to building community, rebuilding the community, fixing our roads and taking care of our parks and going into the education system. Instead, we gotta waste hundreds of thousands of dollars in resources to figure out how we're gonna cover up this murder. We gotta spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure out how we're gonna cover up this murder. I don't expect you guys to tell the media the truth. And it's gonna be a biased story that you really want the community to believe. By the way, I've already told everybody on the stream how this is the victim's car. Why the fuck was he shot down the street? Huh? Why was he shot a fucking quarter of a mile down the road? And why are you driving the victim's car? Why are you driving the victim's car and not putting it on a tow truck? Huh? Why are you driving the victim's car and not putting it on a tow truck? Why are you driving the victim's car and not putting it on a tow truck? Yeah, exactly, like I'm saying, because it would help us cover up our murder. Got an 80,000-pound vehicle, 12,000 pounds on the steers, 35,000 on the drives, 35,000 on the tandems. They murdered a guy down the street. On the radio, they advertised it as an officer down. But there was no officer down. There was no officer involved in a shooting or anything. They shot an unarmed man. His car was right here, parked right here. And then I guess he ran on foot all the way down there to where you see the last set of lights at. And they pulled up on front of him and shot him right there in front of some house. I don't know if it was his own. His relative pulled up, identified himself and the victim, and confirmed that this guy was not armed. Typical police behavior. How you gonna close down a private business and take away all their revenue, potential revenue for the night? All in some false fallacy of covering up your crimes. With the 30 minutes, I showed up out here with my really loud speaker, and I spoke and I spoke and I spoke and I spoke my mind, and they really didn't like what my mind said. My mind said disturbing shit, and they couldn't take it no more. It was just making their ears bleed and ring and ring and ring and ring. They were just fucking ringing, and they said, you know what, fuck this guy. We can't take this shit no more. Pack up the yellow tape and get the fuck out of here. And if you don't know, my name is Ricky Monday, bitch. I do my own thing. I do what I do, how I do, when I do, what I want to do. Because I know I always respect the fucking people of the community, and I never would harass or rob someone or take something that wasn't mine. That's how I know I'm a respectable individual. I would never harm another individual and jump, or stop somebody and pull them out of their vehicle and take their shoes off and take their socks off and search those guys and mistreat those guys and put them in the back seat of their car. And you know what? Even hit me with a fucking flashlight one time. I got this pig on camera hitting me with a flashlight. This guy is one of the two shoe-whip crew bastards. Yeah, this is one of the particular deputies right here that likes to tickle people's feet. You got some kind of foot fetish, don't you, deputy? You should be ashamed of yourself. Did you ever get athletes' fucking feet on your fingers and go home and scratch your balls and transfer that athlete's feet from your balls to your fingers? You little bastard. I'm gonna repost that video of you hitting me with the flashlight because you didn't like my recording your bitch ass sitting there doing nothing, wasting taxpayers' dollars. You despicable little shit. You too, you little young motherfucker. And fuck Channel 5 News, you lying bitches. Fuck ABC 7 too, you lying bitches. You don't have the fucking ball sack to tell the truth. You only do what your corporate fucking masters tell you to do. You're just as dirty as them fucking pigs over there, bitch. My name is Ricky Monday, and you can find my videos live on YouTube. This is not just some random incident that I'm out here doing. I'm always covering the police brutality and violations of civil rights. Meanwhile, Ricky Monday is out, bitches. I'm glad you fucking opened up the block.
All right, people, here I am. Here I am, speaking my mind like you usually hear me cussing them out with these vulgar vowel words like this. Like I don't have no kind of vocabulary sometimes, but you know what? I know how to speak my fucking mind, and I ain't scared to speak my mind. Well, there you guys had it. Hope you guys, yeah, whatever. Tom and Laura, they left me. They didn't want nothing to do with me. But it's all good. I wouldn't want nothing to do with me either. I don't believe that. They're over there watching my live stream. They don't like a man with a really loud voice that just knows how to talk and talk and talk. Damn, my hands hurting from holding this shit. Hey, we're Fastly Faster. You missed the show, buddy. Hey, y'all like that? I think we can go down to the next block and clear that one too. Maybe that's where Tom, maybe that's where Ziva and Laura went to the next block. Yeah, they definitely went to the next block. Oh, there you go. They drove off in the victim's car. They
Dude was following me everywhere. I was trying to call you guys.
He did what?
That dude on the bike was like following me. What happened? What happened? I'm like, go. What? The guy on the bike. He's trying to follow me. He was in his car.
Where's Zebra?
I thought it was back.
Huh?
Back in his car.
Nah, he's not in the truck.
Hold up.
Tom's on the other side. He's on the other side.
Sorry. Are you on your way back? Because we're over by your car.
Hey, thank you, one of those guys. You think I had a little setup?
Where you going, bitches? Off to kill somebody else?
We got lights down here. So just to recap, out there speaking on a megaphone at a part of the crime scenes, victim showed up. Victim's relative, turns out he identified himself as his brother, confirmed that his brother was not armed, and yeah, they shot him down the ways from the car that they drove off from the crime scenes just recently. I think Zebra is on the other side of the street. This is about a quarter of a mile of walk. Laura's over here. I don't want to leave her over here by herself, so. But that's what took place a few minutes ago. Eventually, the cops packed up their shit and they drove off. I'm still watching you, bitches.
I'm still watching you, bitches.
So for right now, I guess that's going to be the end of this live stream. We went around looking for other calls, but it seems like that all the agencies that responded are back at the station filling out a police report of their version of events. So they're all working on getting their story straight. So there's literally no cops or calls right now coming over the radio. Huh?
Jumper cables? I think Daniel has one.
Do we got the key to the truck? No?
No, but tell Daniel we're still waiting on him.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes when you take your battery off the positive, that's what happens.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure we'll help the guy out.
Take the positive off, put it back on. Take the positive off, put it back on. You have a... Take the positive off and then put it back on, and that's what it said.
Laura probably knows more about cars than I do. No, Mason, I'm not.
Your alternator? It's clicking. It's your alternator, I think.
Yeah, it's his battery. It's his battery or his
Yeah,
alternator.
but because sometimes if I take my positive off and put it back on, then it'll start. It'll need to charge, but it'll start. It's just clicking. It's just alternator.
It sounds like the alternator. Or starter, yeah. Alternator, battery, or starter?
This is the battery. Because I leave it
We need a
lights
jump.
on.
Oh, you left the lights on.
Well, whenever dude comes back, we'll give you a jump.
Come back, yeah. Yeah, I'll come back right now. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Where the fuck is he at?
He's right around the corner right now. He's a liar, that's what he is.
Hey, they didn't like my really loud voice, did they?
Oh no. Where's the bullhorn?
I wasn't cussing them out, was I?
Where's the bullhorn? You got it in your back. Okay. That was perfect. Wait, we need hope, bro.
No, just talking it.
Hello.
You gotta talk in it to make it go loud. Yeah.
I gotta think about what I was. Tom Zebra.
Where you at,
Calling
bastard?
Tom Zebra.
Where you at, bastard?
Where you at?
Bastard.
Bastard. Boost mobile phone. Where you at? Remember that shit? Oh, I'm on live. Tom Zebra. Ricky motherfucking Monday. Oh, shut up. I'm just saying.
Stay focused.
Okay.
Tell him stay focused.
Let's stay focused.
Tom Zebra, stay focused.
Tom Zebra, stay focused.
This guy needs to live.
Follow my voice. He's such a fucking liar. Yeah, I'm right here. He's all it's like bullshit.
It only took me 30 minutes for them bitches to pack their shit up and go home.
What did they say? Oh, thank you to jump.
That's a cool little setup. What do you think?
That's the shit.
It worked out perfect, didn't it?
Yeah, see, I have one of those kind of, but mine's on a little thing. Where the fuck is this motherfucker? I'm here right now. Liar. Tom Zebra.
You know what the best part was?
What, Ricky Monday?
When that fucking news guy went over there and asked that little bastard cop if he could move his camera away from us because we were disrupting his audio. And we followed his shit over the other side of the line and they were like...
We piggybacked that shit for shit. Tom MFC Brat. Get demonetized. I'm coming around the corner by the hotel.
I don't have a watered down YouTube channel. I speak my mind and I say the first word that comes to my mind.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You want to ask us something? You got a question, sir? Maybe not. I'm not.
It was KTLA. What was the other one?
5 and 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. Look! There goes one of them Texas right there.
Yup.
Caught on camera, bitch.
Undercover, not so undercover.
You ain't undercover no more.
Channel 5 Live got the big story.
You see that?
You guys are despicable too. Channel 5 Live News. We lie to your face and we tell you the story we think they want you to believe. We don't have a reputable reputation anyway.
There's another one that's fucking...
We have a really big liar on the fucking block. How can you sit up there and lie to 10 million people in Los Angeles watching you? First morning news is a lie with your cup of joe. It's a lie with your sugar and cream inside your watered down coffee. Because you don't have the gallbladder to consume full-fledged black bean coffee from Colombia.
There you are, come on!
Hey, this guy needs some help over here, man. We got a guy over here that needs some critical help.
He needs a jump.
He needs a jump. He wants you to jump him, Zebra.
Humpty jump. This individual is... Whoa. I don't appreciate it. He needs a...
that thing, right?
We just started again.
Oh, I'm talking about the...
I know.
We were having fun right now. We thought you were lost, so we were trying to help you find the way back by following her voice. Fuck. I told you my friend to help you when he came back. He has a really good heart. He wouldn't step on a roach. He would let him live. Did I ruin it, man? Do you regret giving me the megaphone now?
No, if it wasn't for that, they'd still be standing there like
Oh, yeah. Are we going to help this guy? Are we going to help this bastard? Are we going to help this guy? Okay. It's time to lay down and go to sleep, people. As soon as this shit is over with, it's time to call it a day. Cheesy Truth Seeker. Yeah, I had a megaphone over here in the corner of Imperial and Prairie at crime scenes that took place earlier where they shot an innocent young man, unarmed. If you watch the previous live stream, around 37, I think it's 37 minutes and 45 seconds, you can definitely distinguish which one of those officers was involved in that shooting. You can see their faces and you can see the fake limp like he was hurt. They originally broadcasted over the radio waves that there was an officer down, but it turns out that there was no officer down. The only person that was down was the unarmed man that they shot. So during the comeback, when we took a break and went and ate dinner, tacos, and had a couple cups of water and smoked a couple of herbal cigarettes, we came back to the scenes and started speaking our minds and our voices. They were still gathered up on the corner after several hours of being right here in front of this mobile gas station right here that you see on the corner. So when I arrived, I started speaking on the megaphone, giving them a piece of Ricky Monday's mind, and they eventually couldn't take a man with a really loud voice, so they had to pack up their fake crime scenes and leave. They actually drove away in the victim's vehicle. Now keep in mind, this victim was shot almost a quarter of a mile down the road. If you watched the live stream earlier, you'll see me defy deputies' orders of not to pass the yellow line, and I went down to the other side of the crime scenes, and you can also see the patrol car, the deputy sheriff's car, up on the curb with the windshield wipers flashing. I mean, the windshield wipers on. He was up on the curb. So it's apparent that, you know, that's where the murder actually took place. And like I said, keep in mind that the victim's relative, I didn't get his name, but he showed up and identified himself and his brother, who happens to be the victim of this murder cover-up that just took place tonight in the city of Los Angeles by a Los Angeles police officer. I think it's terrible that, you know, that they don't have the stones to speak up and tell the truth to the community. Instead, they rather falsely portray some hero deputy that shot some bad guy today, you know, and they're gonna go home and play to their wives, you know, a little sad story. They're gonna cry in their wife's titty, and you know, or they're gonna cry on their husband's mandingo, and yeah, they're gonna, you know, perpetrate to be the victim when in fact the victim was left out there on the streets and carried away in a gurney. The victim is the kid's mother, kid's father, uncle, brother, sister, cousins, and all their relatives. That's who the real victim was tonight. Not those jumpy ass cops that jump at the sound of a fucking somebody just farting in the middle of the street. These cops are fucking, they're dishonest. They just show us time and time again how they cover up their murder scenes. That's how we were able to predict the fact that, you know, what really happened here. we were able to decipher listening to the radios, hearing the radio calls, the shots coming over the radio. The false officer down turned out to show, me catching both of the officers, leaving the scenes. And then going down the street, I forgot to mention, as I was walking down the street trying to go back the way that I came, the same officers that were inside of the car that I identified, there was a really black, like dark African American. I'm not racial. I hate everybody fucking equally. So your fucking skin color don't matter. So I'm just using it as an identifying term, for your skin pigmentation. So he tried to push me into the fucking street. At the same time, there was a speeding cop car coming with no headlights. It was speeding down the road with no headlights, and they tried to push me into the street. And if I hadn't been paying attention, I could have got ran over and hit by this cop driving recklessly in the street. So all I'm saying is, I just think it's just, if they had nothing to hide, if they had no truth to hide, if they had nothing to hide, they would let everybody see what they actually did, versus standing behind that thin blue line in that shit brown colored shirt. So, hey, it's time to go, man. Thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you go back and check out the beginning of this video. Peace out.